Scotland? Yeah, well, the noise is over. Okay.
Hello. We're here.
Look at that.
Get that out from under your feet.
Look at that bugger. That primer really brings out the buggers. Needs a little Acryl on that. I'll never be able to sand that out. But I didn't bring none, so I have to use John's. Here. So I may or may not get into white today. I don't know. It's at least going to get the cockpit painted white. But I've been, the other day I had an hour, I think it was Thursday, where I didn't come on. I just was tired. I went to sleep. Like last night, I went to bed at about 6 o'clock and I got up at 2 o'clock. Got up at 2, went back to bed, got up at 8, took a shower, came over. What are you doing with that? Spinner polishing?
Well, I got a quarter. I don't know whether that's a quarter 20 or a quarter 28.
28 on that.
Quarter 20. That won't work. Well, we'll just make one.
Well, how I normally do it.
Well, see, I got this one
For 5/16.
for 5/16, but that's not what we're using. I just got to drill a hole and tap it for quarter 20. Here, unless I can use this. If we go on, where's your adapter nut?
This is going to be drilled out for 3/8.
Yeah, I know it is, but it's metric right now, probably, isn't it? It's not even quarter 20. Here's quarter 20. See.
It's big enough to fit over the Super Tiger lump.
Let's see here. My problem is I don't have 5/16 or whatever bolt.
Let me see this. What is this here?
That's quarter 28.
You got a quarter 28 shaft. All we got to do is this. Put this on here. Screw this on this inside, or if you have a drive nut. But that's 5/16. That's 5/16. So now, let me see that bolt there. Put this in there. We're gonna need, I just saw them hanging. Those spacers. Oh, there they are. That we got 10 million of. Remember the hobby shop giving us all these?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to use some of them in there.
Except this is gonna have to be drilled out.
Here's a bag of miscellaneous parts and pieces.
There you go.
Quarter 28.
So you got a quarter 28.
Is that quarter 28 on both ends?
Yep.
Here's another one in case it isn't.
Then
here I got a.
This doesn't have to be super centered. I'm just sanding with it, you know.
Here's a pretend prop to go inside there.
Well, you don't need that.
Will it still tighten down without that?
If I have a quarter 28 bolt, I can put in there. All I gotta do is have a quarter 28 bolt to thread in there. and then put a nut on it.
Where's that
Now here we go.
shaft at? You still have to shim it with one of them.
This is not the right size hole. But I don't need to shim it because
See, that's metric.
what I'm getting at is it doesn't matter. Oh, the threads are buggered up on this.
What are you trying to do with it?
I'm going to tighten this nut up onto this. Then put it in a drill or on the lathe and just run a piece of say. It doesn't have to be perfectly centered. But I need a bolt that I can put a nut all the way down on.
Well, screw the nut on from the other direction.
Then this screws up the threads are rolled over. Threads are good on one end, but not on the other. Okay. Oh, I see what you're talking about. Ta-da, perfect. Just put that in the drill and fold the paper on it, sand it out, and then I'll polish it up, and that's it. We gotta drill this out to fit that.
Right, well, we'll cut it out.
Yeah.
With a
The lathe.
boring bar. This is all that stuff. Does that fit in there? Does
No.
that work for that?
No.
It doesn't?
No.
Huh.
This is not 3/8. That is 3/8. This is
Some of these were metric.
the outside diameter. It won't fit in that hole because it's not 3/8. That'll work right there. Okay.
That's why the threads are all boogered up on this.
Yeah, you had it in the lathe or in the drill or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me get the power.
I was gonna make a plunger
Huh?
for that syringe out of this,
Yeah.
and I started cutting on it. But I don't think aluminum's right to use on it, because doesn't methanol attack aluminum
I don't know.
or nitro attack aluminum, if I'm not mistaken? So I need to make that plunger out of plastic rather than aluminum.
I don't see why you couldn't make it out of aluminum. You know, for as many as that plunger, the plastic one only lasts one season.
Well, the O-rings.
Yeah, but I think the plunger is going to last one season.
I've had regular syringes without the modification done to them last 3 or 4 years before the rubber started deteriorating on them.
Yeah.
This isn't gonna run true for sure because
It doesn't have to.
I know, but that bolt that I made is
Crooked, bent.
crooked bit.
Okay, I usually do it with a drill, but you gotta lay, remember those, here we go, right here. These are the papers, right?
Yep.
Got over here to John's and I already got the bad news. Here, there, look there.
Well, partially, I did barely, basically went through it. Well, we'll sand this whole thing down.
Make it lighter. There's already a post about somebody wanting to buy my airplane. This one.
Not building it to sell, are you?
No. The motor is unobtainium.
Well, that right there looks almost as good as a
Stock one.
stock one.
Well, I'm being bad Chad today. I'm smoothing on the smoothing on the putty.
Yeah, old bad Chad. He can smear some putty now.
Yeah. He's a good body man though.
Yeah, he does good work.
You know, they were saying people were saying that he couldn't do flats with a DA. I do it all the time. It's by eye, it's candling.
Yeah, you gotta know what you're doing. And you can't let it stop either. You gotta keep things moving, you know.
Right, hold the DA flat, you know.
And go around, do circulars and oh yeah.
Okay, we're getting there.
Got some pretty deep scratches in this.
Yeah, well. That's I always
What grit sandpaper did you bring?
320 in that box. Huh?
Mhm.
I didn't bring 320?
Is it in the bag?
No. I could have swore I brought 320. Oh, jeez.
You're gonna force me to use my sandpaper.
Oh, well. We'll replace it.
Yeah, we gotta go finer here.
Unbelievable. I could have swore I put that in the box. Crap, I can't sand. I got no sandpaper. This was just a sandpaper. Shit. Not like me to forget my sandpaper. Uh-oh. Somebody's beaming John up.
Look. Now look.
You want a gift worth absolutely nothing.
Oh, telemarketers.
Congratulations, is this John? Congratulations, you're not one of 1,000, one of 10,000. There are 12 awards and 12 recipients. You have been selected to receive a gift worth up to $80,000. So congratulations. Bend over and grab your socks because you think you got fucked last time. This time it's the real thing. It's not with Vaseline. It's a little California beach set for added friction. Fair enough?
That's about the truth.
Or the people selling light bulbs. You ever had them call?
Oh yeah, I've had all of them call. You name it. I've been getting a lot from AT&T and electric company and all that crap. That's pretty good. I got all your deep scratches in it.
It looked like chromium
Now,
here.
when
in
it
the
comes time to add water, we'll have to use electric drill because I don't use water on my lathe.
Oh, that's a good idea. Why do you have to use water?
It'll gum up and it'll quit.
No, why do you have to use water? I never do. I just random 600.
Yeah, but it starts loading up the sandpaper.
Well, I'm still working on the fillets, guys. Yeah, to the guy who answered this airplane's for sale. Everything's for sale at the right price. Make me an offer. But you won't believe what it cost.
Yeah. That'd be a fact, Jack.
Will this make the nets? What? I need to get that sucker sorted out. That's gonna be my airplane now. get this one done and flying right. Do you have any steel that you could make a steel drive nut with?
No, not any hex stock.
Man, that's a beauty.
Here's where it'll start.
I guess nobody wants to talk to us today. You only got one chatter. One chatter. Danny, if you're watching, you better be sanding. Better not be sitting back in that big old easy chair watching us work. Get out in that garage. I did go against the golden rule of using primer. I did use primer, as you can see, because I didn't have alcohol when I put the fillets in. I didn't get them perfectly smoothed out, so now it's a matter of sand and prime.
And the price.
Yeah. All this primer needs to be sanded back off. I mean, down to my typical invisible status. I'll do that with 500. I didn't put any primer on that. All right.
Getting there.
Okay, so let's look at these fillets here. I got these tail feather fillets pretty good.
I'm all scratched up to getting there. I need to get my drill. I'll do that.
Okay, get the grip out. John don't know it, but I'm gonna steal a piece of sandpaper. I forgot my sandpaper. that piece I was using there, it's pretty low on tooth. And when it gets low on tooth, you can keep rubbing, but you're just rubbing. I stole a piece.
Oh, come on now.
I stole a piece of sandpaper.
You're a terrible individual.
Yep. I showed you guys those blocks that I use. Well, those grips. They also sent this thin pad that you can put paper on. And he said, well, what do you need that for? It contours to the shape.
Yep. Bucket pads work wonders.
All this primer has to come back off. This primer is only a guide coat. Go back there. If I get this painted white today, the cockpit anyway, I'll show you the canopy install tonight. But tomorrow might be a little sparse. I have to do spring cleaning. They're coming for apartment inspection, and right now it's kind of a disaster. So I don't know how much I'm going to do tomorrow. I got laundry and stuff, the chores. Sunday's the chores day. Okay. Is it beautiful?
And batteries.
What'd you do, sand with the spinner on? Yeah.
I don't do that, but
You don't?
no, I put tape on it. But I put tape on them. If I start sanding through the tape, then I replace the tape.
I have a spinner here. We can weigh. This is the same as what was on there. And we'll get a weight difference and see. So we'll do apples to apples.
Not too bad, but it could be better. Warm, hot,
Yeah.
hot, hotsy totsy.
Okay, the Medusa unobtainium spinner weighs back plate, drive nut, or not drive nut, but the lockdown nut. Weighs 6/10, so just a little over a half ounce. You done with that?
No, not really, but if you want it better, then you can play with it. But it's something in there between that hair sticking out there.
Yeah.
Probably fuzz off the buffer.
We have to poke that hole out yet, but let's weigh it. 6/10 compared to,
I gotta set up a boring drawer.
let's see here. Okay, got the Medusa spinner here and the Randy spinner here. This one weighs 6/10. I'll give you grammage instead. 6/10. 1.3, so on the other one. Okay, grams. Medusa is 17. Randy is 38. That's a big difference. Almost an ounce. So it's going to be 61.5. With this spinner on it. When I was leaving the field,
Yeah.
I showed Bill the airplane. He said, "That's a good weight." No, it's not. It's supposed to be 58, not 60.
Well, he's building. I swear to God, now, don't get me wrong here. He's building a. I keep wanting to say a USA. United. United. Who is it? Bob Lampion.
Bob Lampione, yeah.
United, and he's looking at 60 ounces.
Before paint.
The finished flying airplane.
That's a 35 size airplane.
You need to wrap this with something or it's gonna nick it.
Tape right here.
Here, I'll use that blue tape better.
What's the wingspan?
Well, it's a 35 size airplane, you know, it's
Well, Lampione had a 60 size United.
52. It's I think it's similar to the Brodeck kit.
All I know is that Scott's still flying the canopy. It's terrible. Okay. This has to fit through that hole, this end. Let's see if the chatters have anything to say. I added micro balloons to the superfill and in my opinion made it better. Okay,
I wouldn't know why I would need it, but
that's Dan Winship said that. Are you sanding?
why'd you do that, Dan?
Yeah. He said it made it better. Okay.
Really? It takes, well, you gotta go from 1/4 to 3/8, so you gotta take.
Well, that's bigger than a quarter. Keep grinding.
Got a ways to go.
Doing it this way, I won't have any vibration. That's good.
No, you can't just take a drill bit and drill it, because then drill bit's one to pull off center. You know how it can carry on.
Carry on, carry on. I'm back to sanding. John's back to grinding or whittling. Let's see what Winter has. Dan, are you sanding? I'm sanding. Well, I'm supposed to be sanding. That's my sandpaper. And you guys look up Mike Patey, P-A-T-Y, or the T-E-Y. He builds full-scale airplanes. He does the exact same things we do.
Does that go all the way into that?
Yeah.
It goes all the way into this? You know what?
Trust me, that's right.
Put it together. You got a prop or whatever?
No. This is not the airplane that this goes on, but this is 1/4 20. Yeah. This is for Super Tiger.
Okay.
But see, the other one has a prop extension on it. This doesn't. This goes through the prop, into the prop extension, to center the prop extension. It sticks out in about that far.
Okay. That's what I was wanting to know. What captures that? Because otherwise, that's too big of a hole.
Yeah. It's fine. I had a steel nut. What happened to it? You put it back in my box, or did you put it in your stuff?
Well, if it was laying there, it probably got sucked up. Some of the stuff was mine, wasn't it?
That stuff there is yours.
Not in there. I stick it in this box.
Well, that's a 5/8 nut. There's a Jerry nose weight.
Yeah. I've had a few of those.
Did I have a prop extension? Did I bring? I think I did. Rather galled up in this thing. I had it prop. There we go. That one goes there. This one. Yeah, that's what I brought, a steel and aluminum. There we go. We're all sorted out. This one goes with my extension, which should be in the box. Yes. These go there, that goes there. My unobtainium goes in the box. Well, actually it goes back on this airplane. We'll put this on and see how it looks. Load her up. Just gained an ounce.
Yeah, probably did.
You did. Okay. Mike Patey builds some interesting things. I love Scrappy. Yep. Just finished.
Yeah.
Dan says he just finished his coffee in his easy chair and he's ready to stand and apply some more Japanese tissue. Well,
There we go. All right.
get after it. Yeah, Mike Patey does the same thing as we do, only on a big scale. And actually,
That's why I send that movie of you where he's got that big long sandy block about 4 foot long. And he's up on the cow and he's shaping this cow and he goes through this whole process where he laminates the motor with a bunch of this foam and everything. So he gets his gap for his cowling and then he forms the cowling around in pieces and he carbon fibers the whole thing and he grinds the inside smooth and then he smears it with and he's got this big long sandy block underneath there and dust just flying.
that's the same process we're using.
And just big.
Only I think it'd be easier to do that than this.
Well,
There's just more of it.
you probably don't have to be near as, you know.
Well,
fine detail because you can put a little bit of paint on it. You know,
You
you're
can
not
put
worried
paint on
about
it, you can put pressure on it. You can't put any pressure on balsa wood. It'll just scarf up.
Yeah.
That he's using a body grinder and
Oh yeah, heck yeah. He's dust to flying.
you can tell it got nose heavy. That's okay. It's not gonna stay on there anyway. Well, maybe. You never know.
You don't know until the lady sings.
You never know. I might have to, adjust it like I'm doing with the Tucker. What do you think of how I got these fillets shaped in? They look all right? These here?
I haven't really looked at it up close since
I got a little line right there.
2 weeks. When you're ready, I'll look at it real close.
Got a little line right there. Fill up that line. This is the most important part, is to get this perfect here. And it's the hardest to do. To get that line to blend perfectly into the wing. I've seen a lot of attempts at doing this yet, but I haven't seen any successful. Except mine. Because I'm willing to put in the time to get it perfect.
Don't put the time, man.
And we'll at least get the top painted in white today. The cow, so I get the canopy on.
There'll be noise again.
I see they're gonna screw up the on-ramp there to get here, starting tomorrow.
Of course. That's their perpetual maintenance on Interstate 75.
Show them guys what you're doing.
It's a secret. I'm doing just what
Mike Katie was doing.
yeah, in a smaller form. I got a cow filled with plaster of Paris. It's going to be cut in half both directions and spaced out. This one's made up for 1 3/4 inch spinner. It'll be made up to 2-inch spinner. And then that'll be my once I mold it, this will be the mold for the male part of the mold for extra 300 or something like that. 260. Be a lot of work.
Back to work.
But now I gotta cut it in half one direction and put filler in it. And cut it in half the other direction and put filler in it.
Well, you made a big mess. That vacuum doesn't suck up that plaster very
No,
good.
no, it doesn't. It blows it right back out the other side. I probably need to clean the filter and stuff out on that shop vac. I had this cheap Chinesium cowling. Costs like $6 or something like that. Real flimsy. It's actually molded plastic with a layer of fiberglass inside of it, so it won't crack. And so I used that as a starting point for this thing. The overall shape is sort of okay, but it's warped and all sorts of stuff and not too true. So in
Chinese,
the process of doing this thing up, before I filled this thing with plaster, I took some balsa wood and tried to sort of reinforce it a little bit before I filled it with plaster. And I got it sort of straightened up a little bit, but the sides here sort of cupped in. And I said, no problem, because once I expand this out, I'll fiberglass the whole thing and then use some super fill or whatever to fill in any irregularities in it. But the big thing, I wanted to make this into a 2-inch spinner, so we got to grow it both directions, and that'll get us, you know, a 1/4-inch piece of wood in each way. We'll put this on, should put it right at about a 2-inch spinner, give or take a little bit, and then we'll just massage it as it takes, whatever it takes. I'm pretty sure this was 1 3/4 inches. Yeah, it was 1 3/4 inches.
You only really need to grow it at 8.
Well, you gotta grow it 1/8 on both sides of it, so the
Right.
1/4 inch right in the center would give you 1/8 on both sides.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So I'll take this and cut this in half, and put a piece of wood in there, and then turn it around, cut it in half the other way, and put a piece of wood in there, we'll be good to go. So, there you go, ahead and do that. I can tell you one thing,
Close.
it's touching actually.
Sand it some more.
Got the saw making a noise that's got me scared.
You made that piece, isn't that working?
Yeah, it's working. There's something else.
see how bad the bottom is.
Well, when that stuff happens, they're getting ready to blow a blade out.
Oh, man. This place is Hanger Ass City.
Can be, yeah.
Well, I can see it's gonna need a little smoothie on that. Man. There we go. Okay. Well, this area up here turned out perfect on the bottom, one side. The other side's good too. But the behind the fillet is terrible. So there'll be a bunch of sanding. Well, I'm getting a little done today because I'm not doing too much talking. When I do them videos at home, I don't get a whole lot done because I got to talk.
Yeah, I know. It can be a pain. It's fun and everything, but.
Yep, that's gonna need some smoothie there. Smoothie it on. Let's see, we got any chatters? What happened to the Tucker, Sparky? Well, nothing happened to it. It seemed very fast to me. What modifications are you going to have to make for a slower lap time? Open up the needle valve, possibly lengthen the lines. As far as the modifications, what John was doing today, polishing my spinner, I'm adding a different spinner to the front. Mark Larman says he loves those molded parts, yeah. You look back at my older videos, go to my channel and search videos. I have balsa molding, straight form and compound. Man. Man, oh man. Yep, this is the hard part, getting it all. It takes longer to stand them, finish them than it does to build them.
Yeah, I think it really does.
I know it does. You want a good finish. I swear, if I could just slap Bondo and urethane on this, we could do it in a week. It'd be beautiful, but it'd be a turd. Everything I put on, I got to take off, so it has to be perfect before the paint goes on. Yeah, I wish it had alcohol. That would have made it a whole lot easier. I wonder if I cap that with another fillet. It could be better. What do you think?
Just how bad is it? You should be able to sand it out. You're just sanding superficial.
Yeah. There is nothing easy. shoot some more primer on it, I guess. Prime it up. A little smoothie there. Oh, shit.
There ain't nothing square on this doggone thing. So you get trying to jig it up. The sides aren't necessarily parallel, they're sort of tilted in. The bottom ain't flat, top ain't flat.
Emilio, the Tucker will be fine. Two more trips out to the field and it'll be dialed in.
Yep.
Probably about right. What's going on here? Chinesium razor blades. They're not straight. There we go.
That'll work. Man, that's gonna take a lot of work. And it won't get in white today. It'll get the cockpit white, but the airplane won't get in white. It'll be next week if I sand. Tell you, it don't matter how much room you got, you always run out.
What are you trying to do?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm shimming this to try to get something to be able to push this on to keep it. See, nothing's flat. See, this is round. This is rounded a little bit. These are caved in a little bit.
Build you, take a piece of 1/4 inch and build you a square box on the bottom. And then,
I can't shim it up any.
no, don't shim it up. Build it on the bottom like that.
Well, that's sort of what I'm doing. I'm just putting this to use my square that's on the saw and then push on this piece with the square. See what I mean? And then those little shims will sort of hold it straight. Or as straight as it can be. It doesn't matter because it's all going to deform. This could run across at an angle like this. Mm-hmm. It really could. It'll work. It'll work. Have faith, they say. Now see, because of what I started with,
Been on an hour and 13 minutes. Hit the like button, guys. Super chats. Please consider becoming a subscriber, a member of the channel. That's that little join button next to the subscribe button. Less than a cup of coffee at Starbucks per week or per month.
put my finger to it.
Helps us out with bandwidth and other sundry things. I gotta put Japanese tissue on this wood back here. I think silk span would be better though. Because doesn't Japanese tissue leave a line?
It will, yeah, you don't rip it.
Yeah, I better use silk span.
You know you need to do something about dust on this thing. Tearing me up. Let's see here.
That's ready for tissue on that side. Gotta have sandpaper on it. Just so much to sand here. Jim Lynch, if you're watching, I'm sanding. Jim follows us.
Yeah.
A lot of people follow us.
Is the real life and times and modeling.
Yeah.
They make a adapter for a bandsaw for dust collection.
I don't know.
Dan would probably know. I've not seen one, but somebody made one themselves. So I'm using the old 100-mile-an-hour tape trick. It'll work good enough. Long enough.
Only needs to work for 2 cuts.
Yeah. Okay, noise again. Well, in case everybody was worried, it's cut in half. And look at the line.
Pretty good.
There's mine. Here's my ink line.
Yeah, pretty good. What are you gonna do? Glue it together now?
I'm gonna glue a 1/4 inch now, and then I'm gonna turn around, cut it the other way, and then glue another 1/4 inch.
5-minute epoxy.
I don't know what'll stick to it. To be honest with you, it's plaster.
Epoxy should.
I really don't know. It's so,
Take it on the drill press and drill some
chalky.
little. Huh?
Yeah, I have to stipple it or something.
Yeah, epoxy should hold it. You would think.
It's still a little green in there. It's been sitting for about 3 days on the heater. That's a lot. That's a lot of plaster in there.
Building the Hoover Dam.
That's a lot. Put a 1/4 inch in there, that looks good. 1/4 inch, be a 2 inches that way. Put a 1/4 inch this way. Yeah, you're right. Probably drill some holes in there and make it like little nails that at least get down in there and do something.
Little 1/8 hole.
Once I fiberglass the whole thing, that'll hold it all together for sure, but I need it to hold long enough to work on. So you can see that plastic doesn't stick to that plaster. Of course, I didn't put anything in there, I just put the plaster in there.
Yeah, but the plastic is not.
Don't pull it off. The plastic just gave me my shape originally.
Well, what's the difference if you pull it off? You don't need it.
Well, it just gives a barrier between the plaster and the fiberglass.
You're making a mold, right? You're gonna mold this
Yeah.
thing? Okay.
Yeah.
So you're making the male plug.
This is a male plug for the mold.
You may not even have to. I would try epoxy and
I'm gonna try epoxy, but I'm gonna drill a bunch of little holes in it to give it some tooth nail. When you work with all this dumb stuff and it makes such a mess. And plaster's like working with styrofoam. Goes everywhere.
well, you've ruined your big disc.
Nah, it's fine. It'll still cut.
Oh yeah.
Just take some
Wire brush.
wire brush or something to it. Anything that's harder than plaster will.
Well, we had 8 likes and now we're down to 7, so I guess somebody disliked it. So hit that like button, because we got some knuckleheads out there. I'm really to the point where it doesn't much matter.
I mean,
Well, I used to, like when I did that, I got really ticked off with that Nats video. Where I got all them thumbs down at the Nats video.
yeah.
Get out there and do it yourself.
As I say, it ain't easy, and to fly too. It's not like you're out there just dedicating that to.
I lost my damn rubber band. You got any rubber bands?
Yeah, right down there.
Yeah, these are big mamas though. Got to have my rubber band to keep it moving. Man, he's here. Woo. I'll do a little camera in hand here. I want to show you what's the hardest part about doing this job. some people say, well, you can't use your fingers. Well, you just saw me do it.
Yeah, right.
You'll be fine.
And it can be one of the best tools that you got. Here, we're gonna flip that back on real quick. Stand back, so it won't take me long.
Okay.
Let's find some 90-pound.
Yeah.
4-inch balsa. 7.6.
Okay, the hardest part about doing this job, this particular thing that I'm doing with these fillets, is this area right here. This area right here has to be blended perfectly. Like I told you, when I put them in there, they go this way, and that way. I mean, how would you get a shape like that? So what happens is, where the transition comes, there's a break line. And in order to get that break line out, we just smooth in a little bit of that ultra aqua green. And the break line will show up here in a second. Right there it is, see it? You gotta stop sanding there, or else if I sand it away, the brake line will come back. I truly wish I could spray this whole airplane with primer, but I can't. There's that brake line. See it right there? Right here is where the 64th plywood transitioned into the balsa wood. Well, that's hard to soft, and there's always a little divot right there, so you got to put a little bit of putty in there.
Exactly.
So all these little details. And trust me, if they're not right, it'll stand out like a sore thumb. I'm not saying mine will be perfect, but they'll be good enough. I'll say, well, I can live with that. Man, that's a big one. I gotta put a little more in there. That's a super hard line to get right. If I wanted to get this done, I shouldn't have done these all these doodads. But then it wouldn't be a true rendition of the original. spot those with primer.
Ooh-wee, boy, that stuff is kicking off down here today.
Now, a proper fillet, you shouldn't be able to see where the putty was and the other, and it changes direction. So that line is hard to get out too. I got a spot right there that will show. You know, this being lacquer, you have no room for error. And if this was black, forget it. It'd look like crap. Black has to be absolutely perfect. But it's white, so it's pretty forgiving. Get all this primer off of it. Come back after lunch. I don't know what time is it?
Between 11:30.
When we come back after lunch, I'll be shooting some white on this out in the garage. Now another thing, if you remember when I did this, I put the carbon fiber in these areas. If you look at it close, and I do mean close, I'll try to get it close up, you cannot tell where that is, where that carbon was. Found my rubber band anyway. Right here. You will not be able to see that. You can't feel it. You won't be able to see it. Same thing here, carbon fiber was in here and here. You can see that black where I sanded through the primer, but you can't feel it, so it'll be fine. This will look, I already had the look of it with the primer. This will all look like it's one piece. Perfect. And this, all this tap dancing I'm doing with the sanding and all that, the more you do, the lighter the airplane and the better it'll look. Because I got to get all this primer off. Yeah. That's why I say we're not going to get to paint the whole thing today. Because there'll be a couple of dozen more standouts. Well, John, you know you're going to be in the top 20 in advanced. Looks like I'm going to be in the top 10 in open. Of course, it doesn't mean anything. I'll be last.
Probably should have entered open.
No, because then you're stuck.
Yeah, I know.
And no offense, you ain't good enough yet.
I know I'm not. But
Because I'm barely there. Them guys fly so damn much. I mean,
yeah, they're machines. Well, listen, advanced is all the expert flyers.
right.
I mean, you don't fly in advanced unless you're planning on flying expert, because that's really all they are. There's very few legitimate advanced flyers.
That's just like beginners. How many years can you enter beginner?
I know a guy that's been in there probably 10 years anyway.
That ain't really fair.
No, it isn't right, and you should move up. If you don't get bumped up, you should move yourself up, and that would force you. I did that. I didn't win beginners. I never won intermediate. Or I take that back. I may have won like one contest, which doesn't necessarily qualify you to move up. But I figured I wanted to fly against better people than me to force me to try to fly better. And I think that does work to some degree. At least it works for me. It makes me want to bear down a little bit harder at practice and all that stuff and seek out help. Once you hit intermediate, it's time to start looking at trainers, maybe. I don't mean to train your airplane, but I mean somebody to help guide.
Coach.
To go on up. And especially in, in advance, you just about have to have that. Even though we got a club with probably 7 or 8 guys in it, it's hard to find somebody that's capable of doing that. Not everybody is capable of doing that, even if they're a good flyer. Doesn't necessarily mean they're capable of coaching.
The best coaches are dead. That's Big Art Admission was a good coach, and the guy who coached Paul Walker, I can't remember his name. He really knew his stuff.
Well, when Paul's still around, he coached Kenny Stevens.
Right.
He's one that's still around, but whether or not, I think what he's trying to do is he wants to fly again, and I think it's hard to be a coach and still fly, because you really got to dedicate yourself to that person and all the time for that. Come on, set up, Poppy. Set up somewhere.
Give me another 6 inches of 320, would you? I've worn this piece out. Thank you. That white is powdering off nice. God, all this sanding.
Gets to you after a while.
I got 50 years or better doing it. 58 years sanding.
Yeah.
One time when I was, in St. Louis, I went to a body shop down the street from where I live, and I asked them if they needed a sander. He said, "What have you done?" I said, "Well, I sand model airplanes." "You can't do this job." Okay.
You're overqualified for the job, is what
Yeah.
it amounts to. Overqualified.
"You can't do this job." "Okay, buddy. I'll see you later." I just went out.
Yeah, that suddenly made me go off on them.
Buenos tardes, Freddy.
Well, I'm pretty satisfied with how it's coming so far today. I mean, it's about ready for some white on the canopy area. It's just going to take a lot of work.
Pretty much, plain and simple. My undertaking to make this cowling, I could have done without that.
With what?
Building this airplane like this instead of building just a regular stunt plane.
Are you going to set that flat spot down on the bed to cut it? Or are you going to cut it all in one
I'll
piece?
cut it all in one piece. I want everything to be parallel. I mean, my setup worked great for this first half, so I don't see any reason why it won't work great for the second half.
Well, we ain't got no super chats today. looks like we're not eating lunch.
Well, at least for right now, that epoxy's holding. There's a lot of moisture in that plaster still yet. Even after 3 days anyway. Sitting on the heater drying.
What was that?
That's my 100-mile-an-hour tape sounds like releasing. I got that hose taped to the bottom of that. Alright, mix this up another batch of epoxy.
Yep, here's another one that showed its ugly head, little line there. Because I put it in a different light. Damn!
Yeah. You just love it when that happens.
Got it though. We got it. Well, if nothing else, this one will look good. 80 ounces. I gotta make it under 64. Stop at 62.
Yeah, if I know you, you'll stop.
I don't want to use them big lines. Lunkers. I got 3,000 foot of 15,000. I don't want to buy another 1,000 foot of 18.
I got sort of used to flying on 18s, and I tell you what, some guys will argue the fact
Argue what?
stretching lines and that kind of stuff.
Nonsense. So you're flying on 15s now. What do you think?
Well, I like 15s, but I'll tell you, you got to be real careful with them. You can't, be monkeying around with them. You gotta. Which I don't have any clamps big enough for. Yeah, you can't monkey around with the doggone things, that's for sure. Gotta take good care of them.
one of the guys said on the flight video that the motor was sagging on my Tucker. Didn't sound like it was sagging to me, did it to you?
No, I didn't see any or hear any sagging on it.
That would be like it was screaming.
It was just barely lean. You only turned it about a quarter of a turn, eighth of a turn out, and it was about almost right on. No, it's not. You don't run per se a 2.4 braking run.
No.
So it's a 2.2.
It's a hard, fast 4.
Yeah.
Where it likes to run. So we're all set for the hotel.
Yeah, everything's booked.
And you know what's nice? Indiana doesn't have a mask mandate.
Yeah, that's right. They don't do that.
Nope, we don't have to wear a mask.
I was surprised that the cost didn't go up on the room. I don't think it went up at all. I think we still got the room for the same price as what we paid last year. Of course, I've been going to the same hotel for 20 years or whatever.
Yeah, how many Habibs have they been through?
2 times a year. Yeah, but you're in their books. You're in the record. You know, and they look you up. And I tell them that. I say I go there twice a year, every year. Ever. And they're, oh yeah, I know you.
They remember me because I tell them, Kemcho.
Yeah, I think we got a ground floor room too.
Oh, good.
I was shooting for the ground floor room.
That'll be a first.
Yeah. I said, I'm an old fart. I need a ground floor room. But I do have some health issues. Nobody tells because I don't have a leg or arm cut off that shows what I'm going to tell.
I wonder when the wino's gonna lift the mask mandate here. He's a power hungry Democrat.
The wine will do what the wine does best.
Wine. God, I can't stand to listen to the guy talk.
Yeah. He's a wolf in sheep's clothing.
I asked Jerry when I first, before all this nonsense, why a Democrat? Oh no, he's Republican. I said, yeah, right.
Yeah, in name and
Yeah.
let's see, what else we need to do? Oh, that's too late.
I need to hire one of these guys off the internet here to come over here and sand this airplane.
Well, that'd be nice. Get some training, some OJT.
Yeah. Only thing is, I wouldn't like it. Wouldn't be up.
Well, I know you. I'm about one of the only ones that's ever been able to touch your airplane.
Yeah, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah, I've always been one of them kind of persons that I didn't like handling other people's airplanes, but there's only certain people, you know certain people know how to handle things and how not to handle things.
Well, you notice I took my watch off when I launched you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm not used to wearing a watch around airplanes,
You'll ding them up.
but I'm used to wearing rings. I don't put no dents in your airplane with rings. Gary used to say, you gotta take your rings off. For what?
I did have a guy that did that though,
Yeah.
that launched me. And I also had a guy that inevitably, if you didn't run a heavy wire tail gear, he'd shove that tail gear down so much it'd spring you up and you go there wanting your prop. And you couldn't tell the guy. You know, no matter, so you just don't use them.
Right.
You know,
Well, I don't let it, everybody launch my airplane because first off, you got to hold it upside down to start it. And I'd rather have it held off the ground until I get out there so it's not throwing rocks up.
yeah, that's. You did. You launched same way I launch. I hold it up off the ground. In fact, I stand up until you're picking up your handle. I don't even kneel down until then.
Well, I can't because I gotta take me a minute to get down because of my pants.
Well, that's fine to get down there, but you're still holding the airplane off the ground.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Well, there's a big hole. That's a hole.
Yeah. That's from sanding that fillet.
Yep. So, little green smoothie on there.
About 2 inches long. That's the hardest thing to sand and keep from gouging outside of your fillets. It's very, very hard. Word of advice.
Who are you giving it to?
All you online guys, and Sparky knows this as well as I do. Put your fillets in absolutely as finished as you can put them in. Take the extra time working them, whatever it takes. It's the least amount of sanding and fiddling with your fillets that you have to do, the better off you are, because it normally just compounds itself and just before you know it.
You end up like this. See, the reason why I got this problem is I didn't have any alcohol, if you guys remember that we're watching.
That, and you got all them extra doodads up there, a lot more sand, about 3 times more sand than what the normal Joe does.
Right. We'll get her though.
Yeah, I have confidence. It's working out pretty good. I don't think if I put them holes in there, I don't think I would have held them worth the crap. I don't necessarily think it's holding worth the crap right now. I don't know, but
The hole's good enough.
good enough until I can get some glass on it.
Okay. All right.
I don't know, can you guys see this from over there?
Probably not.
I can't see it very good. I don't want to pick it up yet. Oh, they can see it. It's just far away. Don't really want to pick it up yet. But I got the 1 piece 1/4 inch in there, letting this dry. We'll turn it, cut it the other direction, put a piece of 1/4 inch again, and then it'll all get sanded up.
Todd Stimson gave us a $10 super chat. Chili and cheese fries on me.
Cool.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
We appreciate you watching the channel. Make sure to hit the like button. It's all about the same shit. Sanding, sanding, sanding. When I told them guys I'm bad, Chad, all I do is sand. Nobody believed me.
Oh yeah, they put less hours in a whole car than you put in a little airplane.
I know. There's I would say at least 100 hours of sanding.
Well, listen, you worked an hour a day for 3 months.
That's 90 hours.
And
Plus the
then
weekends.
the weekends when you're working 10 or 12 or 14 hours a day for both days.
Yeah.
Like, he'll come over here for Saturday at John's and he goes back to his apartment. What's he do? He works until 10 o'clock at night. He's already spent 7 or 8 hours over here.
Yeah, there'll be a video after this one at home. It's the wrap up, the Saturday wrap up. I get as much done as I can here that I can't do.
I sort of wish we had gotten a coat of paint on this thing today, but that ain't gonna happen.
Yep. Not ready. If I put a coat of paint on it, just adding a lot of weight for nothing. I still gotta sand, the primer down till it's translucent. That should be all right. Gotta prime these.
Yeah, you probably should have done those things while you were doing all this other stuff.
Actually,
you don't
I
have
should
to set back up and do them again.
I should Z-epoxy them. Yeah. I think that's what I'll do, Z-epoxy and then prime them.
Get it while you're still working on all this stuff so you get all that junk out of the way.
I gotta put it.
That's what I always do too. I take these things out, the tip weight box and any covers that I got on and the cowl off of it and the wheel pants sitting off separate, and I figure I don't have that all jigged up and do that. And I'll forget about half that stuff every time, and I get the airplanes all finished. I said, where's this at? Well, now I gotta set everything back up, break out all the colors again.
I've seen you do it.
Paint everything back up again. You just gotta get that stuff done right when you do it.
Let's see. Todd Simpson, where are you from? Stimpson.
Your relation to Mike Stinson? I think he's from Muncie area.
I want to.
You know?
We're getting a lot of them guys over from Bad Chad. Bold and Dangerous.
This stuff. It's all
reconnecting. What's up with this? Oakland, California. You don't know Mike Simpson. I don't know why we unconnected there for a second, but so that's good. We're back.
It's all right. Well, you're missing out on a guy. He's a very nice guy, nice flyer, good flyer, exceptional person. He's also a real pilot. If Mike flies what? He flies a commercial airliner, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I think he might fly some kind of a commercial airplane. So he's wrapped up in airplanes big time.
You got to move your hand more for these than you do a real airplane.
Very true.
Real airplane, it's yep. Okay, here it is.
Flip that switch on autopilot and let her take off. And you still got to keep on top of things. You got to know your engines and all that stuff. So get your ratings and hours. Pretty neat stuff. I should have done that back when I was a kid, and my dad did, but
Okay. Almost ready to sand this super slime off. Put it on, sand it off. If you don't sand it off, you'll have a wall banger.
never truer words were said.
So we're gonna go to the swap meet on Friday, but not Saturday.
I'm not going on Saturday.
Okay, so next week, it's gonna be Friday at the swap meet, and that'll start around what, 2 o'clock?
Somewhere right around in there. Yeah.
2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and then Saturday at John's. And I think the paint job will go on next Saturday. We'll get the cockpit done today, or the cockpit area done today, so I can go ahead and mold the canopy in this week and finish up all the other sanding that needs to be done. There's another one.
So we look like with the cut one way, sanded flush. I'm gonna jig it up and cut it in half the other way. And just remember, it's only wood.
Well, that's not wood, that's plastic carpet.
Well, this is plaster and plastic and fiberglass, but it's still moldable, sandable, all that stuff. It'll be great. Don't panic.
Yep, don't panic. I did panic one time. Ron O'Toole was helping me with my Thunderbolt, and I wanted him to just put a drop of CA in this spot, and it was close to the, I held it,
Uh-huh.
and he wicked that CA, and it wicked into the control horns. He got it loose, though. He felt really bad about doing
I
that.
don't blame him. I felt really bad too.
That wasn't panic for me. I just kind of freaked out.
Yeah, you sort of got to freak out a little bit on that kind of stuff because that can be disastrous. I mean, it can be undone, but
He got it apart.
if you're sitting there at a contest or something like that, and you got to do something like that, boy, yeah, that's a definite panic city. Where's my cheese squares? Yeah.
I think that needs a little drop of CA on it. Speaking of CA. Everything you do to this airplane is adding, not taking away anything really. People say, well, you can sand it off. Yeah, you can sand it off, but it really doesn't take any weight off because it's all sunk down into the wood.
No, you very rarely, if you sand kind of think you're gonna sand something off, you're sadly mistaken most of the time. Sadly mistaken.
This is the bottom. Hit that like button, guys. Hit the subscribe. If you hit the subscribe, little bell on there, that does something. Let you know when I'm on. Become a paid subscriber. That helps. $4.95 a month. Or if you just want to do a one-time thing, super chat like Mr. Stinson did. That helps. We need to weigh these flaps to see what they're down to. Should be about 3/4 of an ounce. You want the absolute thinnest finish you can have. Bare minimalistic. You don't want to be like a car painter and put a gallon of paint on it. You only got a quart, you want to take half of that off.
That is a fact.
I wonder where our Australian buddy is. I haven't seen him on. Hope he's not mad at me.
Probably got stuff going on.
Stunt Hanger put in $250 towards the trophy this year.
That was nice. Okay. Now. Small end on the fall.
Remind me to give you that dry slide stuff for hinges, ball links. I got 2 bottles.
Yeah, you definitely need that stuff for bowling. Bill Reynolds is suffering with that problem right now. Bowlings that got tight on him. I should say Scott's suffering with that now.
Yeah. Did Scott fly again after I left?
Yeah, I think it's good enough for one more shot.
How's he looking this year?
Rusty like everybody else.
All right,
Here
we got
go.
15 thumbs up.
Like I said, that's what that was. It kind of fell off.
Well, I gotta make noise again. So now it'll be a square loop.
And then I'll massage all that and make it round. I'll take a 64th piece of plywood and glue on here that's cut in the right circle, and then fill in around it to make it. See, that should be 2 inches. 2 inches.
Make it the right arc.
Voila.
Okay.
Nice to keep a little bit of extra of this pine type balsa wood laying around.
We got a box of it. You notice who didn't talk to me at the meeting?
Who?
Who do you think?
TJ?
Yeah.
Well, as they say, it is what it is.
No big deal.
Glue, man. That super glue got me that time.
A little bump right there.
Schnoz.
Little bump right there. Can't get out. I think I'm gonna have to put some more smoothie in there. I hate doing that, but it is what it is.
Well, 27.
Almost lunchtime. Or do you want to go to lunch now?
Start thinking about going anytime. I want to get at least one side of this lead on. I just bought this epoxy.
Empty?
Well, I'm half bottle. Use up a lot when you start wasting it on pegging all this stuff together. That's it.
I'm rolling up the bottom of your aqua green. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. It quit smushing and started breaking holes in the tube.
Okay.
Rolled up like a toothpaste tube.
Yep. You can't do that. Okay, I guess.
We'll have to bear down really well and concentrate on how that airplane's flying the next time we go out.
It'll be fine. Only got 2 flights on it. First flight was at warp speed. It's not Nats ready, I can tell you that.
No.
I was gonna wear my Dr. Pepper shirt over here today, but the problem is when you're working on this stuff, it'll have some crap on it somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 of them and 2 hats. One's a maroon hat, one's a gray hat with
Yeah.
the right logo on it. My Nats attire.
Going for that semi ice cream man look.
Yeah, there won't be any ice cream fence though.
I never could wear those things. Yeah, I get them filthy in the first 10 minutes that I have.
10 minutes, it won't last 30 seconds for me. Gotta wipe your hands on your pants.
And you kneel down on the asphalt and get a big black knee on them.
Gieske, Windfall, all them guys wore them. I think it started with Les McDonald.
I don't know. I wasn't flying competition back then. I was still
I got a picture of me with a trophy and wearing ice cream pants.
I was still a ball diamond flyer, you might say.
A Facebook flyer.
No, they didn't have Facebook back then. But I can tell you one thing, it was hard to even find somebody to go out and help you fly and launch you. I didn't belong to a club back then or anything. But I've been flying control line airplanes since I was about, I don't know, 8 years old.
I watched, I don't know what kind of channel he was on, but he was an old guy flying a Cox PT-19 trainer. 47,000 views in 2 months.
Wow. I mean, I had one of the Stukas,
Yeah, I had one.
and that didn't last me very long. That lasted
They didn't fly worth a
about
shit.
3 flights, and I did a wing over straight into the ground, and that was the end of that thing. And then I started building all the little scientific hollow log kits. I built just about every one of those, all but the auto, the big auto.
Did you build any jumping beans?
Oh, I built probably 100 jumping beans and 100 little Satans and 100 combat, I'm exaggerating on how many of them, but a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Combat kit and double kits and.
Oh yeah.
But I did all that stuff before I ever even joined a club. I mean, I had the P63 Midwest 35 size kit and a P51 Mustang with Fox 35s on. I don't know how many Ringmasters that I built. I built a blooming. I should own stock in that company. A bunch of them things. I Sig Mustang Stunners, Sig Chipmunks, all that stuff I built before I ever even joined the club and did any competition flying. My dad was a scale stunt flyer that from a long time ago. I don't know that he competed much, but
How's your dad doing?
yeah, he's doing all right. Mom's not doing very good. But he's hanging in there. We don't get along too well.
Yeah.
One of them things.
I'm gonna have a real problem down in these holes here. I don't know how to get at them. Need a ball bearing on a stick to sand down in that.
Yeah. Why a ball bearing? It's not concave, is it?
Yeah, kind of.
You just get a tube that's the right diameter.
It won't be the prettiest there, but
Yeah, right. I hear you. Just like those two little teeny spots in that cockpit area that you couldn't even see hardly.
yeah.
He left here, he said, they'll be all right. You'll never see him through that canopy. And I hear him on the
Yeah.
7:30 at night, he's on there saying, I can't live with that stuff. I gotta fix something.
Well, certain things I can live with, certain things I can't.
Yeah, you can't live with any little ding or blemish that you can see. Now, if it happens to come out after you've already done, then that's a whole nother ballgame. And I've seen you fix those too.
It's not an Aries, it's a Cobra, and it's a lumber wagon. So that's why it's sitting in that state. It's been in that state ever since I've known him.
For 4 years. It will not go any further, but if somebody wants to offer me something for it, that's comparable to the kit price, I'd be willing to unload it.
It's all good workmanship.
It's got molded top and bottom shells that are already molded. It's got the cows already done up and shaped. The stab and elevators are all there.
Local
The
pickup
flaps are
only.
there. Yeah, I can't ship that.
Oh, crap.
It's rough sanded to shape. But yeah, it's got aluminum pads or carbon fiber pads or something on the motor mounts. I think that's what I did too. I can't remember. But it's typical I-beam.
Yep, somebody just messaged you.
Flaps are shaped. Wheel pants aren't glued together yet. Elevators hinged, flap, horn fin, carbon fiber push rod. It'll be a nice airplane, although it's a lot heavier than what I want it to be, but it's built out all kit wood. Brodeck. A Brodeck Cobra short kit is what that was. I think the kits were $100 or something like that. I'd sell it for that. I'd sell it for $100.
No, it's not carbonated prune juice.
Somebody mocking your Dr. Pepper, are they?
You want $100 for this, huh?
It's probably worth more than that because of the work I got at it.
Where's the top block?
It's all laying right there.
Oh, okay. $100, huh?
I want somebody that's going to do something with it, not just turn around and sell it and try to make a profit off of it. It's not very easy for selling it for
It's not
$100.
drilled either, is it?
No, it is not drilled.
Okay, it's sold.
I don't
I'll
think
take it.
so.
I'll put my Aero Tiger in it. Here. $100. That gives you a little swap meet money.
All right, got that off the workbench.
No, it's still sitting there because I got no place to put it.
Find my billfold, whatever the heck I did with that. More noise, guys, for a second.
I'll take it out of here as soon as I get done with this inspection.
It's all the wheel cant parts, canopy.
Yeah.
These are shaped. That's the bottom,
Yeah.
front, cow. You got the top, there's the bottom,
Yeah.
one of the bottom blocks.
That's the top.
This is already hinged and all that stuff.
This is the top. Almost. So,
Yeah, it'll fit.
man, I don't have to do any work. Just glue it together and finish it.
Pretty much. That's for the
All right.
fuel tank compartment area and stuff. And one rudder right there. These are just scrap pieces of wood. We got guides in it. I think there's a tip weight box in it. Can't remember whether I put that in there or not.
Nope. Tip weight box on an I-beam is difficult. I just use a tube.
Yeah, you just go in the wing tip. Piece of 1/4 inch tube or something.
Well, John wanted $100 for his airplane, and I bought it. I didn't know he wanted to sell it. I gotta figure out how to lighten it up.
It's hard to lighten up an I-beam. Considering they're pretty light to begin with.
Monocoat. It's gonna be a monocoat finish.
Yeah, that's about the only thing you could do, Ken. I mean, I built the top and bottom blocks are out of my wood, so they're as light as you can get. That's some pretty nice wood for that molded parts. You know, I actually made molds for them myself. And so they're out of some really good wood.
Gotta be in the 40s. It can't be in the 60s.
No, you don't want to build that airplane in the 60s, that's for sure.
So we're gonna get a monocoat video going. How to monocoat I-beam wing.
It's fixing to get one final glue joint on that.
And then we'll go to lunch, and after
Yeah.
lunch we'll come back and paint that top piece.
Right here.
We've been on 2 hours and 46 minutes, so this will be a 3-hour Saturday at John's. I figured you can get that done in 15 minutes.
Get what done?
$10 worth of glue.
Yeah, that's the worst part. Filling in all them dang divots. Little twofers. That's all right. Use it on this or use it on something else.
Gluing the wood together like that with the drilled holes will make this thing stay together.
That's not the only way, 'cause ain't nothing else gonna be really sticking that plaster. That plaster, you gotta realize, that stuff green as green can be, even though it was done 4 days ago. It's 4 inches thick by 4 inches thick, and it takes a while for that moisture to get out of that. It doesn't matter, because it's gonna be totally encapsulated in glass cloth anyway, so.
You mix up enough? Mr. Mike Patey Jr. Split, cut, weld, grind, break it, crash it.
Yeah.
Factor work.
What was that plane that he did?
Scrappy.
Not Scrappy, the other one.
I don't know.
The big short takeoff
I don't know.
stall sort of airplane. They made an RC model of that airplane. The one I'm talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
Cut it, break it, crash it.
I'll tell you
Engineer.
what, he's not afraid to dig in there and do some work to it. That's for sure.
He'd make a good modeler.
Yeah, I think he flew that RC airplane. That's a copy of his. What the heck was the name of that thing? Can't remember the name of it.
This is gonna be a large barge. That's a big fuselage. Bigger than a Thunderbolt.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Should be able to build a fuselage out of 16.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I tend to do that. I do intend to do that.
At a minimum 3/32. Are we going somewhere for lunch, or what's up?
Well, yeah, we'll have to go get something.
Taco Bell?
Probably.
We done Wendy's.
Wendy's is ridiculous. They're not bad, but their price is about tripled to what they used to be. That'll be great. That'll work out fine. Now I got roughly a 2-inch spinner there. A 2 1/16.
Be fine.
Perfect. By the time I put a little piece of wood on there, flare all that in. See, this radius is wrong now.
Yeah.
You can't cut
It's
it
a
like
square
that
loop.
and make this radius. It's got little flats.
It's a square loop.
A 1/4 inch flat. Both directions in it. So You gotta remake that round.
Which won't be hard. You just glue it on there and take a Dremel and grind
And I'll
it
take
away.
and fill it in with superfill and blend it all out.
Grind these down until they're flat.
Yeah.
Nothing but a thing. All right, guys, we're going to go to lunch, and we'll be back after lunch. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate the super chat that came from Todd Stimson.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back after lunch. So, fair winds, tight lines. See ya.